Hello and welcome again to another video that nobody asked for, but I know someone on the internet is looking for this. And this is how much I spent as a South African traveling to Thailand and Bali. So I did let's backtrack. So my husband and I do this thing. We've started doing this thing and we've done it 2 years in a row, and it's definitely going to be part of our lifestyle now, where we take a sabbatical every year. And so we started just after COVID, and we have done it in 2019, 2021, and 2022, I want to say. And so it's obviously long travels that cost, you would think cost a lot of money, but don't really. And so that's what I want to do. I want to give you a breakdown today of how much we been spending, or how much we spend going, doing our sabbaticals. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Nyaki. I teach you guys on the internet how to make money, and how to make money babies, but also just life things. Think of me as the older sister you never had. So today, this video is about our travel expenses. So I've got my spreadsheet here. I'm a spreadsheet gal, and if you stay till the end of the video, I will let you know how you can get your hands on my spreadsheet. So I'm a spreadsheet gal. I like to keep tabs and track of everything that we spend, just so that we can plan, but also for things like this. I want to say everything with a caveat. So there are things that my husband and I, classify as sunken expenses, and those are basically costs that regardless of where we were going to be, we were going to spend. So things like food, I don't put in the budget, because what I eat and what you eat is going to be completely different. I will make a note about how things cost, how much things cost, and how expensive or affordable food is, but I don't put on my spreadsheet, we had breakfast today, it was 94 rand, because regardless of where we were here or whether we were going to be at home, somewhere else, we were going to spend money on that breakfast. So I'm going to go through two trips. I'm going to do Thailand and Bali separately, but kind of together. The reason why I love Thailand, and I also love Indonesia, not so much, but I love Thailand, and love Indonesia and Bali, is because they're affordable, right? I think the first thing when traveling and wanting to experience the world is go where you can afford. I've had the fortune of someone actually noticed, she was like, hey, wait, that means you've been to every continent in the world. Yes, I have, except for Antarctica. But I've had the fortune of having, been awarded the opportunities to travel in different times of my life and different periods and blah, blah, blah. So where you go is very important. And the enjoyment that you will have is kind of dictated by what you can afford to spend and how much you can afford to spend. I'll give you a real example. So my family and I took a trip to Australia one time, and guys, Australia had us thinking we were poor. Wow. No, Australia, yeah. Don't go to Australia. You can't afford to go to Australia as a South African. You are literally spending 100 rand on a Coke. Kanjani, guys. Where? Okay, so it's so expensive. But obviously if you've got friends and family there and they kind of take care of you, but okay, so step number one when picking where you want to go is figure out the currency exchange. There's a website that I like to go on the internet, and it's basically you just search the cost of living. So I think it's costofliving.com or something. But basically you can type in, before you decide that this is where you want to go, the cost of living of things compared to your country. So I would say cost of living in South Africa versus say Australia. And then you will be able to see one Coke costs this much. Rental, a 1-bedroom apartment in South Africa on average costs this much. In Australia costs this much. A meal at a restaurant in South Africa costs, say, average 300 rand per person, right? In Australia, you're paying 2,000 rand per person. So it's you can afford to go, you can go, but So cost of living is the first thing that we always check before when deciding on a country. And that's why I love Thailand, and I love Bali. Actually, the whole of Southeast Asia, we love this because it's affordable, but also because our rand can carry us. So cost of living is like step one. Don't go to a place without knowing how much you're going to be spending. It's such an irresponsible thing to do. Okay, so cost of living is quite important. So what I was saying about the spreadsheet is that we don't do things like sunken costs. So food, we don't thingy. Transport, we cap it, right, to a limit. So like if you're going to take an Uber here or there, I won't put it in the spreadsheet, but like if we're going to take a flight or a boat ride or something, then it will go in the spreadsheet. But yeah, so sunken costs don't come in the spreadsheet. So this is like me punting Thailand, I promise you, but it's not. I just obviously have it here. So the other thing, so that's the first thing you would check is the cost of living. The second thing that we always check and kind of decide is the biggest expenses when you are there. So the biggest expenses being getting there and then staying there. And then the third one is obviously moving around. So getting there is the flight to the place. So we are in South Africa, if you're watching this in South Africa or any other like remote country, is that you have to think about like if there are direct or frequent flights to that place, and the more frequent and more direct flights, the cheaper the flights will be. So flying to obscure places is expensive, or flying to places that are really far that people don't go to is expensive, or places that don't have airlines that come here. So it's like it's a whole, like it's a bit of a calculation to check like whether or not how much the flight is going to cost. The tool that I use to check how much my flights are going to cost, or be able to like even gauge like where the best place to go based on, you know, the cheapest flights, is something called Momondo. I'll put it over here. Momondo is like a search engine. You can also use Google Flights or Cheap Flights or Skyscanner. Those also work. I've just used Momondo because I like the way that it looks and I've been using it for years. But basically they will allow you, Momondo allows you to choose, to firstly search like randomly, like show me the cheapest area that I can fly to. Okay, if you're feeling brave, that's something you can do. If not, then you can actually search specific countries. But also what I like about Momondo is that it allows you to navigate which days you fly, right? So especially if you're very flexible, you can fly on certain days and it becomes cheaper. So Tuesday, for example, may be cheaper than Sunday, but you're able to see like on the graph, which is also why I like it, is I think they all offer it actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think most places do offer it, but like you're able to see on the graph like which days are cheaper and then book according to. So cheapest places, because of frequency, and then cheapest days is also obviously a thing. So check cost of living, like eating out, all of that stuff, and then getting to the place. And then this third one is staying in the place. So accommodation. Depending on the kind of trip that you are taking, accommodation is going to be varied. I can speak to two kinds of accommodation, or two ways of doing accommodation, because we've done them both. So both long-term and short-term. So long-term, when we go for our sabbaticals, we've done it twice already, but we've done this twice already. We rent out an apartment for an entire month. So we then get the monthly rental, as opposed to buying like day by day, as you would in a short-term rental. That monthly, there are pros and cons to doing it this way. The biggest pro is that it's affordable, or not affordable. It's cheaper, right? It's cheaper because you get the bulk stay. The con, and I think maybe like the asterisk, be careful here, is that if you book a place and, you know, especially before you see it, if you book a place and you get there and you're like, oh no, this place is the dump, then you're kind of stuck there for a month and it's difficult to get out of a month rental. So what we try and do, which we haven't done, is like scour for pictures. Usually we'll get like a very, very new unit. And like I really research the area when we are going to do a month rental like that. That's like the biggest the biggest research I ever do is we're going to do a long-term stay. So like reviews, transport, like transport hubs, like all the information. I do that. So long-term rentals, that's the pro. And then the con is obviously like you could literally get conned into staying in a place that, doesn't look the way it does on the pictures, or it smells funny, or the bed isn't comfortable, or there's like things that, or the water doesn't get hot. Oh, this has happened to us. And it's just like, it's too late now, isn't it? So we do long-term rentals and we do short-term rentals. For the long-term rentals, just for safety, we do go through Airbnb, because if you do get there and the water doesn't get hot, you can, like, there is recourse through Airbnb. Obviously, if you're in the country and you want to extend, you can negotiate with your landlord now, I suppose. But for us, just because we're not trying to stay there forever, or we're not, we just go through Airbnb. And then also the nice thing with Airbnb is that long term you'll get like things like your you get like a discount for long-term bookings if you book for a month, if you book for 15 days, etc., etc. The only thing though with Airbnb bookings is that, or long-term rentals, that they generally don't come with any cleaning like mid-stay, and this thing irks my parents so much. So if you're a person that's expecting for someone to come in, like housekeeping is not coming. So make sure that like you're comfortable like cleaning for yourself and all of that stuff. So usually we'll get a place like with a washing machine and a kitchen, and like it's an apartment, so we're living there for a month. So that's long-term accommodation. And then the other option then is short-term accommodation. So the short-term accommodation is then also like either you get it through Airbnb or you get it through booking.com or hotels and stuff. Just because of who we are and like the kind of space that we like to stay in, we generally use Airbnb because we like to get like apartments and more space. Especially if you're traveling for a long time, like you need to be washing your clothes, and we don't really cook, but like make your tea in the morning and have your yogurt type of thing. So yeah, Airbnb is where we usually go. We also check booking.com quite a bit. I'm a genius like level, like I think I'm like 2 bookings away from like being the highest genius level. It's like the booking points that you get, and those things do help, right? They help you accumulate points, which then makes your stays a little bit cheaper, and then you also get like upgrades, like, oh madam, you've just been upgraded to a whatever room, and you're like, oh okay, it's because you're a genius member. That's the only loyalty program that I like in the years, that's the only one that I can think really works for me. So booking.com, if there's an affiliate link, I'm going to find it and put it in here, because I feel like this is information that I am giving. So Airbnb, booking.com, that is for short-term stays. So I said we're talking about the big things that you need to figure out. How you're going to get there, flights, how you're going to stay there. So where you're going to stay. So either long-term or short-term stays is where you figure that out. And then how do you get around? Like that is a big cost, and it can be a big cost. And it's one of the reasons why we didn't go to South America, because getting around places, especially if it's a big area that you want to cover, as in if you want to travel the whole country, you want to travel the whole city, how do you move in between places? So some places have really good public transport systems, some don't. Would you need to hire a car? Can you hire a bike? Do they have buses in between here? Is it only buses? If it's buses, that means you're going to need to hire a car. If you're going to hire a car, that means you need to be getting an international license and driving on the wrong side of the road. So like those things, figure out how those work, because that's also like a big expense. Things like food and like, activities, like, sundries, those things are just like, you can not leave them off, but like, it's not big things. Okay. So let me go through my list. So I will be just talking about Thailand. Oh, the reason why I love Thailand is because it's affordable. When I say affordable, generally, the thing that I love about Thailand, and about not Thailand specifically, but like Southeast Asia, is that you can, the economy is quite elastic. I think that's the word. Economists are going to come for me in the DMs there, but like because those are not real things. But you can go when you are starting out to travel. So like when you don't have a big budget, and when you're like want to live like a king. Like that's the elasticity of of Southeast Asia. It's not like coming to South Africa where you have to have like a decent amount of money to be able to like going to the Kruger, for example. You have to hire a car to go to the Kruger. There's no trains. There's no buses. Maybe, I don't know. Like staying in a place. You also, like, if you want to stay in a nice place, you have to spend like 5,000 rand per night or whatever. So, those Southeast Asian countries that you can go on a small budget, but you can also go on a big budget. I know this because these are the places that we started when we started traveling. We started in the Southeast Asian countries, and like literally, I think if our first trip maybe costed us 15,000 rand all inclusive per person, to Thailand, maybe Thailand, maybe Bali, one of these places that we went to, and so like you can quite easily do that. Okay, so Thailand trips are really cheap. Okay, I think this is the last time I'm going to mention. No, it's not the last time I'm going to mention Thailand because I'm talking about my Thailand trip. But we basically did. Okay, let me talk about the trip. So we basically did Thailand and Bali for 3 months. We did Thailand, Bangkok, which is the capital city, for an entire month, and then the second month we spent around the rest of Thailand, and then the third month we spent in Bali in Indonesia. So we traveled around Bali. That was 3 months worth of travel. Should I tell you the cost now or should I wait till the end? Okay, in case this is all you came for, the total cost, let's scroll down. The total cost for our 3 months in, what year was this? Last year, whenever this year was, I can't remember the year, 2020, what are we on? 2021, was 839 rand per person per night. I want to say per person. Okay, let me just give you the total price. The total price was 75,574 rand. So we spent 75,000 rand for 3 months in Southeast Asia for my husband and I, from South Africa back to South Africa. Everything included except for, the sunken costs like food. Which was not a lot of money. Also, how much is a lot of money? If you eat a lot, that's on you. Okay, so I'm going to go through the list and things that we spent off, just so that you can see like the range of pricing that you can spend. So we went during like when we had to do a quarantine stay, which actually was like one of the most expensive things that we did, and that was 3,500 rand for like one night. It was a bit of a waste, but we had to do it. The flights to get there, also why I love Thailand, is for the both of us cost 14,079 rand. So it was 7,000 rand, 7,000 to fly return from from here to back here. And actually we left from Bali, so it was like even more. I think it would have been even a little bit cheaper. Okay, so we spent the quarantine. Then for the 1 month's rental, remember we went for the specific trip, we did 1 month in Bangkok. We spent, our rental for Bangkok was 12,974 rand. So that's 13,000 rand rent for the month. That's all our accommodation for the 1 month in Bangkok. It was a really, really nice place. If you saw my Instagram stories, and if you didn't, go to the highlights and look for where it's there. But beautiful, brand new little apartment. It was small. It was so small, but it was enough, right? It was like, it had a bedroom and a kitchen and a lounge and a bathroom, and it was new and it was beautiful, and the host was amazing. The building itself was spectacular. We had like this pool that stretched on for like kilometers and kilometers, like Olympic size, overlooking the city. It had like a jacuzzi, a gym. Oh my gosh, I love that building. Like, beautiful, and 100% we would pay this even double, even triple this amount just because of that building. The building was in Ekamai, which is a city which is this little like area that we stayed in. That location itself wasn't amazing because it's not very close to the BTS, but we also use BTS is the railroad that railroad, is the train, the overland train, the sky train, that you're able to use. So one of the things that we try and do, especially in these areas, is remember the transport that I was talking about is trying to stay near a metro line, a train line, or some sort of public transport. We usually travel with train in most of these countries, because it's what the locals do, it's what's affordable, it's what's safe. And so we try and stay at places that are near the train line, or at least walking distance to the train line, or that offer some kind of commute between the train lines. So some apartments and some places will like have a shuttle that they use. Those are not really amazing because coming back is always a mission. But for this one, they had a shuttle, so coming back was a mission. But the coming back was like 15 is too long, maybe 10-12 minute walk. And like in a very like just Bangkok-y kind of area. So it was just walking and being just normal. It was perfectly fine. I would walk by myself. So we spent 12,000 for the month. Then we went to, so that was Bangkok. I'll give you a little brief example thing. Bangkok is a city. I love Bangkok. I love the busyness. I love the noise. I love the smells. I love the food. I love the people. I love Bangkok. But it is busy. It doesn't stop. I think like whenever someone asks me about Bangkok and specifically about Thailand, it's like, I think if we didn't have like, like this mass looting and all of the stuff that we have, the social ills that we have in our country, I think South Africa would look like a Bangkok. So I think like remove like the drug and crime danger element out of South Africa, and then also remove like the corruption. I mean, okay, let's not talk about the corruption, but like remove the drug and unsafetyness about South Africa. For me, Thailand and Bangkok specifically feel like that, where it's still like, it's still a city, like there's people, and it's like, but you can't go to town now because it's like, things are going to get robbed. I'm going to get robbed. But if you weren't going to get robbed or like come across a Nyaupe boy, it would be fine. Like, and people pissing in the street, like that is something I don't understand why we do that as Africans, but like they don't urinate in the streets there. I don't know. But there are other smells, but like not that. So like that for me is what Thailand or Bangkok specifically feels like. So that's why I love it. It just feels very familiar. So it's very busy. Traffic doesn't stop, but there's like, it's just a vibe. I love Bangkok. So what do you do in Bangkok? The same as you do in Joburg. You just eat. You do a lot of eating. You do a lot of sightseeing. There's like historic buildings, and just vibes. Like you just chill out. What did we do? We specifically were writing. One of us was writing his PhD, he has not completed yet, but he's finished the proposal. And I was coaching. So it was like workcation, which was nice. So we stayed there for a month. Then we went to a place called Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is in the north of Thailand, and it is beautiful. If I was going to retire in a place, it would probably be Chiang Mai. No, maybe not like fully retire, but like it's super, I love it. It's a small university town. It's not small. It's a university town. University, but also like medical town. So a lot of the things in Chiang Mai are like holistic wellness, recovery type things. I know there's like a lot of places where people go and like recover from like long terminal diseases and stuff or whatever. But yeah, love that. Chiang Mai, the flight from Bangkok to Chiang Mai cost 1,568 Rand for the two of us. I don't know how much, it's like 700 and something Rand per person. This is the one thing that's going to frustrate you about traveling overseas, is you're going to realize how like horrible it is in Africa, because you cannot go to Zimbabwe for 800 Rand. You can't even go to Zimbabwe for, it frustrates me so much. But traveling in between these cities and the countries is so affordable. So 700 Rand per person to get to Chiang Mai. I think it was like a 2-hour flight. Getting there, you like take a metro to the airport, you get to Chiang Mai, you take a taxi, which is probably like 100 baht, it's like 150 Rand or whatever, and then to your hotel, or to your Airbnb. This Airbnb also loved this one. Oh, it was so cute. It was big. It was spacious. It had a little bicycle. It felt like we were like living in an apartment. It was an old building, like the kind of building that you would imagine in like an older part of like Parkhurst, like Joburg, like with an old lift where you have to press the buttons, and smells funny in the atrium or whatever. But it was lovely. Like, it's clean. Loved it. Loved Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is very vibey. Chiang Mai has a lot of expats, so you'll see a lot of white people in there, like riding their bikes and doing whatever they do. But it's nice. Also safe. Expats, the thing with expats is that it kind of helps to have expats in an area, because then you not know, but like then you kind of have like options for less offensive food. If I can say that. Am I allowed to say that on the internet? Just food that you would ordinarily eat, or even like experience, where it's not like very, very extreme kinds of food. You know what I mean. So yeah, loved Chiang Mai. Like cute little restaurants, mountains. We found this little like a riverside cafe, which was so basic. It was just like camp chairs, someone with like a guitar, and it was like, it was beautiful. So getting around Chiang Mai, you use Grab. Grab is like their Uber, but they also have Uber bike, so you can actually call like a scooter to come and fetch you if you're just like zipping away, or if you're just by yourself, which is quite cool. What I wanted to say about Chiang Mai. What did I want to say about Chiang Mai? Oh, Chiang Mai is like, there's an old part and there's a new part, old town and the new town of Chiang Mai. And so it's like historically, there's like stuff to do there. It's mountains, it's beautiful, there's hiking, it's very chill. It's like the kind of place that you would retire, right? You not retire, but like you could live, like I could live in Chiang Mai. There's lots to do. One of the things, this is a pro tip, one of the things that I like to do, especially if I'm going to stay in an area that like, I don't want to do the typical touristy things, or I just want to travel, we want to just be more, out there, and we don't want to just like, do nothing. This is what we do, is that I will join the Facebook groups of the area. So like Chiang Mai expat community, or Chiang Mai, events or activities. Just search like the area, and then join those groups, and then you can see what is happening in the area, right? If there's a jazz concert, or if there's a new club that's opened up, or if there's a restaurant that's having a special, or if there's a language exchange, or there's a hiking group, and so you're able to just like latch onto that and do some activities. Like that's basically what you do when you're on holiday, outside of like living by the pool and taking Instagram photos. It's like you actually have to like engulf yourself in the culture. And so that is how we do it. Let me know how you do it. I would love to learn. But yeah, Facebook groups for me are a big thing. And then obviously just like talking to people, literally. We love these Southeast Asian countries. The people are so kind. Like, oh my gosh, there was this one guy who was in Thonglo, it was like a coffee shop in Bangkok. Yeah, in Bangkok. And so Onalena would go there every day to get his coffee, but it was far. It was like 10 minutes walking. He would go there to get his coffee. And I'm like, where are you disappearing to every day? He's like, no, I have a friend in the coffee shop. So one day I go with him. And this guy's English is like 60% of the way there. It is like, it was so difficult, but like he's trying to make jokes, he's trying to talk to us about politics, and it's such a good old time, like just good, like wholesome fun, just nice people, very, very nice people. I do have another antidote story. This is not the kind of video that you guys are used to. It's not the kind of video I'm used to making, but let's see if it sells, it sells. One of the things I really don't like about traveling, especially to these poorer countries, is how exploitative the places can get, right? So, especially places like Thailand, especially places like Bali, is that because it's so affordable, people are just really like, oh my gosh, I have a story. Can I tell the story? I'm going to tell the story. So we went to a massage place, right? So I think we were in Bali, massage place. And the So it's really cheap to get massage, like 400 rand at like a nice place, 4, 5, 600 rand at a nice place. So we go in, and on the thing on the outside it says like massage, you get a discount. There's like a 20% discount or whatever on massage. So this Australian lady comes in, and she's getting a quote for her. She's getting, how much is, then she's like, yeah, but don't forget about my discount. I was like, that day I was here. I was just like, when you're asking for a discount on a 400 rand full body massage, who are you as a person? Well, how have we got, okay, anyway, that's not what this is about. This is about me traveling and you learning how we do and what we do. Okay, so Chiang Mai, told you loved it. People are very exploitative. Don't be that person. Like, just, don't ask for discounts on things, stupid things like that. Yeah, so Chiang Mai is all about temples, mountains. It's beautiful, very, very, very beautiful. So from Chiang Mai, we stayed in a place called Niman. Niman is the new area. So Chiang Mai has an old area and like old town and a new town. A lot of these places do. The old town is kind of like the historical part of it. There's probably like a huge temple and like the monasteries and whatever go there. And then Niman is like where the vibey places are. So we stayed in Niman, but we traveled between Old Town and New Town. You take a Grab, you take a like a tuk-tuk or whatever. There's transport. It's really affordable. I think they even had like these public the public transport kind of looks like a bakkie with the canopy on top, and then you sit knee to knee. So it's like, that's the 4-4 Maslanisane one, the way you just kind of get in and you knock it when you get off. Like, that's their taxis. It's open on the inside. You just get in and it's covered. But it's the weather there allows for that kind of stuff. Okay. Then after Chiang Mai, definitely put Chiang Mai on your list. You won't regret it. I loved it. Then we went to a place called, so then we flew to Suratani. Suratani was another place that how you get to an island called Koh Samui. So island means, Koh means Koh, K-O-H, means island. So sometimes you'll just see it say Samui or Koh Samui. It's the same place. It's just island of Samui. So we went to, we flew to Suratani and then took a ferry, a speedboat type thing from Suratani, which is the mainland, to Samui, to Koh Samui. Koh Samui is a place, how much that cost? So Suratani, the flight was 3,908 rand for 2 people. So you can divide that. And then we stayed in Suratani for 1 night. It was a horrible place. Would not recommend this place. Suratani is just like, for me, it felt like a stopover town. We landed at night. We needed accommodation. We found the accommodation. We slept. It was just, it wasn't what it was. Suratani, then we took a speedboat, right, from the airport ride to Samui. The speedboat for 2 people cost 544 rand. And then we used it's a public transport. But we used 12go.asia. That's the website that we use to book all our accommodation when we are traveling inside of Asia. So 12go.asia.com. They basically do the ferries, like ferries or boats. So they basically do the ferries or the little like the internal airplanes, or even roads like buses. Basically, if you need to get to a place, they will figure it out for you. You don't have to worry. The nice thing about these places and a lot of like Asian travel is that even though it looks a bit dodgy, it's fine. It's safe. It's something that like is a bit challenging to get your head around, because like literally you'll get to a place and then it'll just be like a little sign that says like, okay, this is the boat, like stand here for the boat to get to the island, and you're like, there isn't even a chair. No, I'm like, what? I'm being scammed. And then someone will come and take your bags and put them in a car and then just just go with them. Like 99% of them are just doing their thing. There are obviously like obvious scams, especially like in Bangkok itself or in the major cities where people are like, oh, they'll take you to this place for free. But a lot of it's just like more like trying to get you to buy other people's things so they can get kickbacks. But like if you've already paid for a service, you'll get to where you're going. You don't have to. You will fight. We fight all the time. We're like, what? Where are you? No, I'm not supposed to get off here. No. You see, I'm not. No, I'm supposed. They'll just take your things and you'll arrive. Obviously ask the questions because you don't want to get completely lost and say Nyaki says, but Nyaki, so go 12go.asia allows you then to book these accommodations, these transport, the different modes of transports. It's really cheap. 544 Rand for 2 people to get on a speedboat. They came to fetch us on a bus. There was a bus ride, and then the bus took us to another place with the ferry. It was like a whole bunch of us. The ferry, then we had to split between 2 islands. So we were going to Samui, the other ones were going to the party island that I've never been to, where the full moons happen. That's the same process. So we went to that one, and then but like 544 Rand for 2 people for that whole thing, where you bus and then boat takes you to somewhere else, and then when you get to the port, sometimes they'll have transport for you, sometimes they won't, but sometimes you just pay someone and they'll take you. Like, it's a third world country, guys. Everyone's trying to make a buck. Okay, so the different islands, why we chose, so I mentioned that one island before. So there's 2 islands that you could have taken in the area. Well, there's many islands that you could stay at the one area, at the one place. Generally, islands are like known for certain things. So like the one near Samui, I can't remember what it's called, but I will put it on the list on my spreadsheet, is the one that they do full moon parties. So it's a nice island, it's big, it's parties. I've never been there. When we got to the ferry, I was just like, I am so glad. It's the party island, right? You are getting on with like thongs and board shorts and young people, and you're just like, I am not this person never this person, but it's just too much skin on that island for me. So we stuck with Samui. Samui is like very chilled, like family honeymoons, luxurious kind of stay. But I went there for my birthday, so it was like just super chilled. Samui, the island itself, and generally most of the islands are pretty like rural. That's the word I'm going to use. Rural. They the resorts, it's like built around the resort. So the resorts themselves will like have all the facilities and will be feel very luxurious and access to the beach. But like behind the resort is where the magic happens. The magic of the town happens. So if you've ever been to like Zanzibar is also the same thing, where it's like the resort, the beach, and then behind is just the village of the people living there. Lovely, but you may come across chickens or pigs or whatever walking around. But it's cool. It's vibes. You can go, you can walk, you can be a part of the people. It's not dangerous at all. They don't look at you funny. You do get stares just generally because you're a black person in a weird place, but like nothing like China. Nothing like China, nothing like what you think. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. There's a person type of thing. Love that. Okay, so Samui, we took a speedboat, 544. Then we stayed at a place called Kwan Beach Resort. This was like us being bougie, and you can check my stories on my Instagram if you want to see what that looked like. That for 15, 16, 17, 18, for 4 nights, bougie, was 5,240 Rand for 4 nights. See how bougie I am. And that we booked on booking.com. That was like that's like 5-star glamping. It didn't turn out to be 5 stars. It was like 4 stars because we could hear the animals like scratching, and then a frog came in. And when you're glamping in Asia, what are you expecting, Nyaki? What are you expecting? But it was fun. Loved it. Also, all the pictures that you'll see of me in Thailand, that's basically where I was, living my best life. So Samui is great. We ended up moving Airbnbs. This was horrible. So we ended up booking an Airbnb. And remember when I said, like, do the research first as to where you're going to be staying, because the room may look great. And so that's what happened. Like, we got there, the room was fine. It was just like, it was like a studio apartment. We weren't going to stay there for too long. I think we were there for like 2 nights, 3 nights maybe. We got there. My husband is just like, the area itself, I think there were like chickens downstairs and like people just like slaughtering. When you get there and you're like, oh, what have I done? But it's gonna be fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's fine. It wasn't fine. So we get in and it's fine. Like, whatever. But like the area, you can't. There's nowhere to go. Uber doesn't arrive. We're trying to order Grab, like Uber Eats. Grab, nobody doesn't deliver to the area. Oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? It's fine, it's fine. Then we go downstairs. It's like, yeah, we were in the, yeah. So, needless to say, we canceled that accommodation. My husband was like, no. So we, like, literally, we left the very next morning. We told the host, we were like, thank you so much for your accommodation, but no, we can't stay here. So we ended up going to like a hotel. So we had to book again, but even that was, so we stayed there for, initially we were going to pay 1,181, but we ended up paying 1,100 for the 2 nights. So cost of accommodation, just in general, is that I like to keep it, especially for these places, I like to keep, my budget is 500 Rand per night for the room. That's how I do my budget. If you've got a bigger budget, grand, you can obviously stay at better places. If you've got a smaller budget, you can also stay at smaller places or cheaper places. But like 500 Rand for me, I found is affordable, but also gives us the comforts, the 3-star or 4-star comforts that we're used to. Okay, then we left Samui and we took a speedboat. Did I take a speedboat or I think we may have even taken a ferry, I think to Krabi. We went to Krabi. We took a ferry. So we took a ferry to from Samui to the main island back to Krabi. The ferry is huge. It's the one that takes cars, like the ones that you see on the movies. Love it. So cool. It was thousands of us. That time it's like we've just come out of COVID, so we're all just sitting there like this. But it was, it's a ferry. What are you going to say? And then we stayed at a hotel here, Krabi Central, that we booked. Krabi Centra. We paid 1,323 Rand for, this was very cheap. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 4 nights. So 4 nights we spent 1,300. Krabi, for me, gives me Durban vibes. I don't know, but there is just Durban vibes. Yeah. That's all I can give you. Like, the water's warm. There are a lot of people, a lot of Indian people as well. Feels like Durban. Spicy food, heat, beach. You do it. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. We did scooter. So we rented out a scooter on Krabi. We actually started in Samui. We rented out a scooter in Samui. That's kind of like where we learned. Learn on like small islands like Samui. We learned in Samui. We had our we have our bike licenses. He has his bike license. I don't have mine. I tried to take it and I failed. But he has his bike license, but we had never actually ridden bike. So we had, you can just rent out a bike. I think it's like 100 Rand a day. And so we were like renting out bikes. Do this at your own risk because obviously, but anyway, so we did ride bikes in Samui, but then in Krabi, that's like basically where we went all the way in, and which is lovely because if you have a transport like that, especially like a bike, which is so cheap, I think it is like 100 Rand a day. You can literally travel wherever you want to go, wherever your heart's content, at your leisure. So that was really nice. Then from Krabi, we took a public bus from Krabi to Phuket. That was 181 Rand for 2 of us. I think it may have been like a 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 hour ride. It wasn't horrible. There was a point where the guy stopped at like his grandmother's house and greeted her and like took packages for her. That was a bit, very Asian, but we arrived on time. And then in Phuket, thoughts about Krabi. I just given my thoughts about Krabi. Phuket, we stayed downtown Phuket. There's two places in Phuket like this. Phuket is, if you don't know anything about Thailand, so usually on Thailand, you get Phuket, you get Bangkok, which is like the main city, and then Phuket, which is like the beach area. It's not the only beach area, but it's the most popular beach area. I am not a fan of Phuket. I do not like it. I think there are just too many people, and too many it's yuck. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We stayed there for 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we stayed there for 6 nights. I say this and then I'm like, we stayed there for 6 nights. But yeah, Phuket is just busy. The nice thing is that it has all the amenities. You can walk around. You're seeing people that you could bump into someone that you know in Phuket. Honestly, like that's how busy it is. But yeah, we stayed there. We stayed downtown Phuket. Oh yes, so we got this this beautiful villa type hotel, which I absolutely loved. It felt like very old country style. It's linked in my spreadsheet. Yeah, Phuket is lovely. Lots of pictures. You'll see we didn't go to the beach. I generally don't swim in the ocean, from the beach. I can jump off when we're in the water, on a boat, but not in the beach walking in. I don't know why. So I don't no beach there, but the beaches there are fine. I'm not a big fan of them. They just don't feel clean a lot of the time. So in Phuket, the other areas, in the islands, those beaches are white sand, blue water. You definitely want to get into that water. I definitely get into that water. But in the more popular areas, I don't know. Okay, and then we went to Bali. Okay, so wait, hold on. Including flights, including that weird quarantine hotel, was 56,000 for 2 months. So it's basically 30,000 rand a month, which is 15,000 rand per person. It's 1,000 rand a day. Okay, then we went to Bali. Okay, so that's Thailand done. Did I leave anything off about Thailand? I'm sure I have. If you've got any more questions specifically about Thailand, let me know. I love that place. I will 5 stars. 5 stars, highly recommend Thailand. Visas for Thailand and things. So visas, South Africans go visa free. Another reason why we need Thailand, you just take your passport, you get on the plane, you get there and you're like, hi, I'm here. And then they stamp you in and they say, welcome. That's it. That's how you get to Thailand as a South African. Am I right? Yes, I am right. It's a free visa. We don't get a visa. You just walk past. Then for Bali, same thing, visa free. Oh, you get visa free. Just check how many days you get, because we went for long, 30 days. We went for 30 days. We only get 30 days. We went for 30 days and we had to extend. So you have to go to immigration and you have to apply. Application is really simple. It's not complicated at all. You pay a small amount, whatever. It's just, it's common courtesy. If you don't pay, which happened to us, so if you do overstay your visa, and I think we overstayed by 2 days, and it's not even that we overstayed, it's that we were literally leaving on the day that our visa expired. So they charged us for that overstay. But basically, how it works, when you're going to the airport, how you know you've overstayed, is that when you get into the airport, the guy will look at your passport and they'll be like, come to immigration, and you're like, oh no, what did I do now? I didn't do anything. And then you have to go, and then they're like, yeah, you see, you overstayed, and you're like, okay, how much is it? And then you pay. That's basically, you don't get into any kind of trouble. They don't shout at you or confiscate anything. So you pass. Once you've paid, you pass, then you're fine. Then how much did we pay? It's 1,000 rand a person, which also you're like, I'm not even, no. But just pay. Okay, so then we go to Bali. Bali, same thing. Visa free or visa on arrival, but visa free or visa on arrival. Just double check my figures or my stats there. Make sure you check your passports. You've got 6 months and extra pages and all of that stuff. But flights from Phuket, so from Thailand to Bali was 6,281 Rand. We flew Singapore Air. So obviously we had to get to the thing for two people. So it's 3,000 each. That I felt was a little bit expensive because like it's 3,000, which is not, but it's a long flight. It's like 7, 8 hours. So it's like an international, like a real international flight. Okay. We flew Singapore Air, beautiful, beautiful airline. Oh my gosh. Singapore airport though, guys, the old people, guys, go work at Singapore. My goodness, Singapore airport, like they have people like the porters and the people checking your bags, the people that are supposed to help you at the airport, like the young, strong guys are old men and old women. Oh my God, Singapore airport, you guys feel so, you will. Okay, anyway, Singapore airport, lovely. Okay, so we flew to Bali. Bali, we went to Kuta, Seminyak. We stayed in Canggu, Ubud, Nusa Lembongan, Canggu and Kuta again. I'll go through these places because, again, these are the places that I like. So this was the third time we've been to Bali. It feels like we like going to Bali, but we do, but we don't, but we do because it's affordable. So I don't like Bali so much now because it's so full. So full, so dirty, so many Australians. Yeah, so Kuta is like the main area in Bali. If you've ever been to Bali or you ever go to Bali, you'll probably find yourself in some area associated with Kuta. Kuta is like the main area. I don't like this place, so we only stayed there like the night we arrived. Also, we just found some cheap Airbnb there. It was 143 Rand. Also, one of those places where we're like, next time we should spend a little bit more because there was like no aircon in the room or something like that. Okay, so then we stayed in a place in Seminyak. So Seminyak is more like upper class. Lots of Australians doing their holiday homes here. It's also very busy and it feels very like kind of like a Neisner Hermanus where it's just like busy holiday people. It's just like people, like everybody's out every night. Seminyak. So it's nice. It's like for your first time there, it's great. I know people do like a lot of surfing and there's like nice beach clubs and all of that stuff. Do your research about Seminyak. It's great. It's a nice place to stay. Affordable accommodation. So for 7 nights or 6 nights, we paid 3,326 Rand for the two of us. Then we went to Kuta. We stayed in 2 different places. The first place we paid 2,000 for 7 nights again. We paid 2,100, and then for 2 nights in Kuta we paid 865 Rand. Then we went to so then we had friends join us from Cape Town, Carl and Eugene, and they joined us in Canggu. So Canggu you'll hear a lot about because it's where like a lot of foreigners go and like hibernate and like retire. Beautiful villas, all of that stuff, but the traffic will make you want to cut your hair. It is no, regrettable. Like no. It is, oh my, woo. Yeah, no. Don't go to Canggu if you're gonna like, if you have places to be, if you want to go see sunsets or you want to like go, oh my gosh, don't do that. Okay. Then, but lovely place also. The one thing about Bali though that people don't tell you, and I will tell you because I am honest, is that it is dirty. Like dirty, like papers and like heaps and heaps of rubbish and dog poop, dogs everywhere. It's dirty. Don't let them lie to you and be like, oh, picturesque Bali. It's like yuck. Like the water, standing water. It's got papers everywhere. It smells like, it's beautiful. The people are lovely. Like go, but like manage expectations. Okay. Then we went to Ubud. Ubud is my favorite area in no, okay. It's still on the main Bali island. Ubud is like the eat, pray, love. I think she went to go and pray there or something like that. But it's like very zen, lots of hipsters, so many hipsters. Like people don't wear shoes. It's like mountains. The monkeys are there. Like if you've seen like people going to like the monkey, I've never been to that thing. I don't do things like that, but I've never been there, but that's where it is. Yeah, it's very like zen, lots of beautiful waterfalls. It's definitely a place that like if you stay longer in Bali, like I would stay here. Like if you don't have any intentions of moving, so like if you want to do like a complete retreat, like this is the place that you would go because it's like places that are really beautiful. I remember the first time we went with my sister and we ended up getting like this, it was a 3-story house, but it was like right on the cliff. Like it had the waterfall right there. So like if you had stayed there for like a week, if you were like writing or like in a retreat or like being zen, like that would be the place that you stay. Not if you want to go out and go to restaurants and all of that stuff. The nice thing with Bali, even Thailand, is that you can even hire help because help is like really affordable. So like you can have a full-time chef or a butler or someone that comes and sees to your food and things if you know, have that desire. Cost-wise, I would be lying to you, but I know when we did it the first time, but this was like pre-COVID, I think for the house it was like maybe like 1,000 rand for the day with the meals included, where the lady brings the things and then she cooks up for you and all of that. But there was like a whole bunch of us. Then the place that I absolutely loved the most, 5-star, highly recommend, would do this again, and only because we've done the other islands as well in Bali. So Bali is like got a lot of islands. Indonesia's got a lot of islands. Bali is like the main island. But one of the islands that we went to this time around is Nusa Lembongan. So Nusa means island in Balinese. So Lembongan is spectacular. It's a small little island. We were there with our friends. We got a scooter. Still very rural, still very remote, but spectacular. All the pictures, not all the pictures, but like 90% of the pictures of Bali that you see, like the one with that beautiful rock formation and the like, those happen here. The water is, it's just, oh, it's so pretty. Obviously, manage your expectations. You're not going to heaven, guys. You're just going to an island, but like beautiful place. If you ride bike, like a scooter, this is the place for you. Like it's super chilled, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I would say stay at Nusa Lembongan. There is an island next to it. That's the bigger island that most people stay at. But there's 3 islands like all grouped together, and you can basically like access them quite easily. I know the one that we stayed at is connected to another one by a yellow bridge that you can just cross over with if you have a scooter, and you can go around that island and whatever. But then there's the bigger island. I can't remember the name of that one. Is not connected, but you take a ferry or a speedboat between the two. Most people stay on this island. This island for me felt very, very busy. But when we were staying on Lembongan, we went to that one for a day trip. That's where that beautiful rock formation and all of those things are. Penida is the big one, the Nusa Penida. So Penida Island is where like a lot of touristy things. We did the Penida tours. So there's 2 options with the Penida. Basically, like you do the tour where you go and see like the Broken Beach. There's one package like that. If you're doing your research, you'll understand all of this. Broken Beach tour, and then there's another one that does like on the other side of the island. We just did one, also very spectacular. I'm sure I've got it somewhere on my Instagram stories where I may have not taken some pictures. Who knows with me these days? But anyway, Nusa Lembongan, we stayed 3 nights. Wish we had stayed there for longer. We paid 610 rand for the 3 nights. 3 nights, 600 rand. And we booked that on Airbnb. And then we went back to Canggu, which was a horrible, horrible mistake because Canggu is just got a lot of traffic, but it was a nice place. This place we actually found on Instagram. We stayed at one of those Instagram places. Oh, spectacular. But we got a last minute deal. And so we stayed on like 2 random days. So we stayed there for 2 nights, and that was 1,043 rand. It was so pretty. I wasn't a fan of the bathroom because some of these places, they don't like actually have windows. They just have like vents so the hokaikis get in, like lizards and geckos and mosquitoes and stuff. So you're kind of living in the wild. It's wild. But we found that on Instagram, and I booked through booking.com. And that was it. Oh, and then we went back to Kuta for 2 nights, and we paid 868 rand. That's it. That amounts to 839 rand. Oh, per night, not per person, per night for 90 days. Yo, man, it's 400 rand per day. Yeah. Okay, this was a very long video. If this was helpful, please do let me know. If you've got any questions, I would love to answer questions because at this point I just feel like I'm talking to myself. I do apologize for the length of this video, but I got a lot to say and it's very informative and I'm very entertaining, as you just witnessed. But if this was helpful, please do like it, share it with someone who's traveling to Thailand or who's gonna take you to Thailand, or you're gonna take to Thailand or to Bali.